Imagine waking up one morning and realizing that everything around you looks faded, blurry, and lifeless. You rub your eyes, blink harder, but nothing changes. This is exactly what happened to Emily, a 47-year-old mom who thought her tired eyes were just part of aging until one day she couldn't even read her son's birthday card. Panic set in as doctors warned her of possible permanent retinal damage. Glasses didn't help, eye drops failed, and surgery scared her, but then, a small shift in her kitchen changed everything. 3 tiny seeds, hidden in plain sight, started healing what medicine couldn't. Within weeks, her vision sharpened, her eyes stopped burning, and colors returned to life. No chemicals, no lasers, no fake miracles, just nature doing what it does best. If you or someone you love stares at screens, struggles at night, or fears losing sight, don't blink, because what you're about to discover could save your vision forever. In today's world, where screens glow brighter than the sun and fast food replaces real meals, our eyes suffer silently, day after day. Emily, a caring mother and hard-working graphic designer, spent nearly 10 hours daily on her laptop, until the day her vision began fading like a low battery warning. Doctors blamed age and strain, offering glasses and drops, but none explained why her eyes were drying, itching, and darkening with time. What no one told her was that certain natural nutrients, right inside her kitchen, held the power to protect and heal the most delicate part of her body, her retina. She didn't need fancy pills or surgeries. All she needed was the right food, specifically, 3 forgotten seeds that nature designed to fight inflammation, boost moisture, and rebuild eye strength from within. Her discovery wasn't just healing, it became a mission. And now, she's sharing it with you before it's too late. Seed number 1. Chia seeds. The omega-3 powerhouse. Emily's turning point began one morning when she reached for her phone and couldn't clearly read a simple notification. Her eyes felt heavy, her vision cloudy, and the fear of losing control over her life crept in deeper than ever before. That same evening, while searching for answers in natural healing blogs, she came across a story about ancient warriors using seeds to sharpen their senses during battle, especially their sight. Intrigued, she dug deeper and found research showing that chia seeds, tiny black pearls of nutrition, were rich in omega-3 fatty acids, antioxidants, and lutein, all of which play a critical role in maintaining retina health, reducing inflammation, and improving tear production. Skeptical but desperate, Emily began adding 1 tablespoon of soaked chia seeds to her morning routine. Within just 2 weeks, her dry eyes felt more hydrated. In 3 weeks, she noticed the blurring during night driving had lessened. And by week 4, colors appeared brighter, and her focus while reading had dramatically improved. What she didn't realize was that her eyes were being deeply nourished at the cellular level. Omega-3 helped rebuild damaged cell membranes in the retina, while antioxidants reduced oxidative stress, one of the hidden killers of vision. Lutein, often called natural sunglasses, filtered harmful blue light and supported the macula, the central part of her vision. Emily loved the simplicity of this seed. It had no taste, blended into anything, and required no cooking. She created a chia pudding by mixing almond milk, honey, and crushed berries, letting it rest overnight in the fridge. It became her healing breakfast ritual. Her confidence returned with each passing day, and so did her hope. What struck her most was how something so small could bring such big changes without needing synthetic supplements or scary procedures. She shared her story online, where thousands related to her struggle. Eye health wasn't just about age, it was about nourishment. She learned to avoid frying oils and processed snacks, which counteracted omega-3's benefits. Instead, she focused on balance, hydration, and consistency. Emily wasn't just recovering, she was transforming. Her story was no longer about losing sight, it became about gaining vision, not just with her eyes, but with purpose. And chia seeds were just the beginning. Seed number 2. Pumpkin seeds, zinc and lutein for the retina. While Emily's journey sparked a new hope, across the country another silent battle was unfolding. Jack, a 58-year-old truck driver, was losing his peripheral vision and struggling with glare during night shifts. Roads he'd driven for decades suddenly felt unfamiliar, and his rearview mirrors became harder to rely on. An eye specialist diagnosed him with early-stage macular degeneration and warned him that the process could be irreversible. The thought of losing his independence, his job, and his sense of direction terrified him. Unwilling to surrender, Jack began researching non-invasive solutions, and what caught his attention was pumpkin seeds, a crunchy snack he had ignored all his life. Studies showed that pumpkin seeds are rich in zinc, a mineral essential for retinal function, especially the macula. Zinc helps transport vitamin A from the liver to the retina, allowing eyes to produce melanin, a protective pigment. But the surprise didn't stop there. These seeds also contain lutein and zeaxanthin, two powerful antioxidants that filter harmful blue light and shield photoreceptor cells from damage. Jack began roasting organic pumpkin seeds lightly at home, tossing them with a pinch of sea salt and olive oil, turning them into his daily on-the-road snack. Within 3 weeks, the intense headlight glare that used to blind him at night reduced, and his side vision gradually stabilized. For someone who had spent years ignoring nutrition, this small shift brought massive change. He even started blending a handful into his protein shakes, combining them with kale, banana, and unsweetened almond milk, a vision-protecting powerhouse. What Jack loved most was how easy it was to make this seed a part of his lifestyle without pills, appointments, or frustration. He avoided store-bought salted seeds filled with additives and learned to keep a roasted jar handy in his truck. The transformation was not just in his eyes, it was in his confidence. He no longer feared driving long hauls or missing exits. His doctor, surprised by the improvement, encouraged him to continue the routine. Jack began recommending pumpkin seeds to fellow drivers, explaining how something so ordinary could protect something so precious. Zinc, he learned, was especially vital for aging men whose natural levels decline over time. His only regret was not starting earlier. The best part? This seed didn't need anything fancy, just daily consistency. Jack's story became a reminder that real strength isn't always loud or expensive. Sometimes, it's in the quiet crunch of a handful of pumpkin seeds that carry centuries of healing tradition in every bite.
Seed number 3.
Flax seeds.
Eye lubrication et tear support.
Melissa, a 36-year-old software analyst, had grown used to the constant burning in her eyes, assuming it was just part of her long hours at the computer. She dismissed it as screen fatigue until one day she blinked and realized her eyes weren't producing any tears at all, just raw dryness, redness, and stabbing pain that made it nearly impossible to focus. Her eye drops offered temporary relief, but the discomfort always returned stronger. She began fearing a future dependent on medication, unable to work or enjoy even a short walk outside. That's when a friend introduced her to flax seeds, not as a diet hack, but as a genuine healing tool. Flax seeds, she discovered, were rich in plant-based omega-3 fatty acids and vitamin E, both critical for maintaining eye moisture and supporting the natural tear film. Unlike chia or pumpkin seeds, flax seeds had to be ground fresh to unlock their benefits. Melissa bought a small grinder and started adding a teaspoon of flaxseed powder to her morning yogurt, sometimes blending it into oatmeal or smoothies. In just a few days, she noticed less stinging when blinking. Within 2 weeks, her eyes felt smoother, calmer, and more hydrated even after hours on the screen. What shocked her was that no one, not even her doctors, had mentioned this solution before. She learned that omega-3s from flax seeds help reduce inflammation in the meibomian glands, the tiny structures in eyelids responsible for producing the oily layer of tears. Without proper lubrication, eyes become vulnerable to environmental irritants, UV exposure, and screen glare. Melissa became obsessed with learning more, realizing that this tiny golden seed held the power to give her eyes a second chance. She warned others never to eat whole flax seeds, as they pass through the body undigested. Ground form was the key, along with drinking plenty of water to support fiber movement. She even developed a simple routine: grind a week's worth every Sunday, store it in an airtight jar, and add it to meals daily. Her journey wasn't just physical, it was emotional. The fear of slowly going blind had taken a toll on her self-esteem and mental peace. But now, every time she woke up without dryness, she felt empowered. She began sharing her story in online wellness groups, encouraging other women dealing with similar struggles to try the natural path first. Melissa didn't just heal, she transformed. Her glowing eyes reflected something deeper: trust in nature, faith in small steps, and a lesson that healing often begins in the most unexpected places. And like Emily and Jack, she realized that true wellness doesn't live in prescriptions. It lives in the choices we make every single day, starting with something as small and powerful as a spoonful of seeds. 3 different lives, 3 separate struggles, and yet, one shared truth: our eyes, the windows to every beautiful moment we live, are fragile and fading silently in this modern world. Emily found clarity in chia seeds, Jack reclaimed his strength through pumpkin seeds, and Melissa restored her comfort with flax seeds. These were not miracles, they were choices, small and consistent, drawn from nature's quiet brilliance. In a world overflowing with artificial solutions and noisy promises, these seeds whispered healing. The lesson is simple but powerful. Protect your vision before it's gone. Because what good is a beautiful life if you can't see it?
Every blink, every sunset, every smile depends on what you feed your body today.
So don't wait for a diagnosis or regret. Begin now.
Cuse natural.
Choose healing. Choose sight. Because sometimes, the smallest seed can light the path to the clearest, brightest future you never knew you were losing.